It began with a request from a customer. Hey everyone, today I'm excited to talk to you about a very special series with the Venom F5 Revolution Roadster, our one of three carbon series. The distinction with the carbon series is, number one, the full exposed cosmetic carbon body and the application of this very unique livery setup. It began with a request from a customer to really have a very unique vehicle in an already unique and exclusive club of Venom F5 ownership. But this presented multiple challenges and involved multiple trips to our carbon supplier to determine exactly how every part of this carbon series would look. You know, angled lines on a sheet of paper, that's one thing, but as you bend and mold that paper over a form, it becomes twisted and warped and it's not exactly straightforward. Well, a car is just that. It's a flat plane that is curved and contorted and with convex and concave shapes, and there's no piece of this car that's flat. And so everywhere you look, there's curvature and there's complexity. And so that required mapping out the strategy for the carbon series. The carbon weave meets a herringbone center spine line that runs from the front of the car all the way to the back of the car. Each one of the strands in the carbon composite must line up perfectly, otherwise it's rejected. So there's many different levels and points and parts of our quality control that would cause a piece to be rejected. Thankfully, our carbon team is some of the best in the world. We think they're the best. And so we actually didn't end up with a too high of a rejection rate for this, but we did seek absolute perfection for every body panel. Every single piece of the weave, outside and inside, is at a 45-degree angle. Even as you cross over pieces of the body panel, that weave lines up line for line. So as you move from the front clam to, let's say, the door, for instance, the degree and the angle remains the same even as you turn from the top of the car over the fender to the side of the car. Another really difficult area of the car was the rear bumper of the car. The rear bumper of the Venom F5 is the world's largest piece of automotive carbon fiber in production that is then CNC milled on our 5-axis machine. It's all carbon, even though on a painted car there is a paint breakup there, but on the carbon series car, this is all exposed. And so this was extremely difficult because there's a ton of form on that rear bumper, but the final result is second to none. We actually developed, we call it our carbon series Bible. Basically, this is a nearly 100-page book that outlines every square inch of this car and has requirements for everything, whether it comes down to the weave direction, where it matches up, the way that the clear coat is applied. Everything is within that booklet, and that's just for these. That's, aside from the other requirements and quality assessments that we have for the Venom F5. There's an old saying that you drive for show and you putt for dough. Well, the clear coat on this is the putting green of this whole carbon series program, because you can have the perfect weave direction, you can have the perfect line up down the center of the car with the herringbone, you can have the perfect alignment between panels of that weave direction centered on the herringbone, and then you get to clearing the car and you sand too much, you can actually burn the carbon, which you do see. And so we would reject that piece. And so even the painting of these cars, you might think, oh, well, you're not painting it, so that's kind of easy. It's the day off for our painter, but not really. It's actually quite a bit more difficult. to make this look right. Everyone wants the Revolution Roadster. They want to look at the roof scoop hanging over their heads as they're driving. And in particular, this Carbon Series car is distinctive because it's got this very unique livery setup. The other Carbon Series car that we delivered earlier in the year is this, but it's all in yellow, which I think you all have seen and know about that. And it's, what's your guess on what the next color will be? It's going to be exciting. Once you walk up to this car, you just get that next level depth of the reality of the craftsmanship, design, and intent that went into producing a vehicle like this. There's carbon cars out there, and then there's this car. It doesn't get better than this. The Carbon Series, one of 3, Venom F5 Revolution Roadster. I think we could just end with that. That's the Carbon Series.